Today we talk poetry. Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today we're here with the lovely Miss Renata Burnette, a young, talented Guyanese poet, if I may say. Poet, right?
Yes.
Okay, it's poetry. Tell us what you've been up to. Let's hear from you.
Well, recently I completed one of my pieces. It was about time I wrote a new piece, and I did. It's called My Mask and I. And this is one of the pieces I had fun writing. I had fun performing it, well, for the first time actually. And I guess with this piece, it's like so much emotion. Some of my pieces are emotional and what's not, but this piece kind of said a lot. And I realized when I was writing it, I had this major writer's block. So I had to message one of my friends. So I asked her, I said, what are some of the things you feared? And she'd say like crazy things like the darkness and spiders and all these things. And then she said, like, she got down to the nitty gritty and she was like, I'm afraid of being alone, afraid of people seeing me for who I am and all of these things. So it's like, I realized that this piece is so much bigger than me, hence why I needed your help to do the video.
Yeah. To
get all these girls involved, because what we don't realize is everybody's wearing a mask and they have perfected it so much that you just think that's them being happy all the time, that's them making jokes all the time, that is just them.
Yeah.
But really, it's like you realize these things when people reach the breaking point. And mind you, I had to go through all these things before I could write this piece, because I prefer my own experiences to speak volumes for me.
Yeah.
So it's when you're like 12 o'clock in the night in your room, and everything that hurts, everything that's caused you pain, everything that you're thinking about or overthinking, which most girls do, it just rushes in like this big flood, and then you start breaking down. And you realize this isn't the you want people to see. Not really afraid of judgment, but not wanting to be judged in a sense, not wanting people to treat you differently, especially your day ones or your ribs. I call my friend my ribs. Yeah. So it's like you don't want them to treat you differently, like they'll care, but then they'll not make certain jokes around you. They don't want you to feel hurt or whatever. So that in a sense that is different. So you wear masks.
Yeah.
Basically. Me and my mask have been through so much. True relationships, one job, and several friendships. I thought nothing could replace her. But eventually something did. But I'll tell you what happened before I tell you what it is, see. I called her facade. To me, she was God. She was my partner in crime, bad bitch, activist for niggas ain't shit, never took anything serious, submissive, and oftentimes she was fake. And you'd be surprised about those characters would interchange. See, she was always with me like a deity, and she made life so easy that people oftentimes mistook her for me. I guess they were only seeing what they wanted to see, but I couldn't blame them, because she was pretty. Pretty like those white girls with blue eyes that only cut the inside of their thighs so no one else can see their scars. Pretty like those black girls that proclaim to be perfect, but deep down inside they always told themselves that they weren't worth it, never good enough. And my mask always had a poker face, so you could never call her on a bluff. And even though love was our kryptonite, deep down inside we remained tough. She taught me so much, like how to morph into beings you would not believe, how to act when I'm around family, eating meals, to always keep a smile on my face, so we could avoid that question, are you okay? Cause even though they didn't care, we had secrets, and we didn't trust anyone else but ourselves to keep it. See, I needed her more than she needed me, and like codeine, we leaned on each other. No one was ever that close to me, no one, not even my mother. She said if you laughed loud enough, they'll think you're carefree, and if you hid those tears, it'll be like if Superwoman had a baby. Don't you ever show no empathy, no love, no fear, no weakness, no lust, and above it all, don't you trust anyone else but me. And I listened. I surrendered everything to her, including my body. And before I knew it, see, self-image became so important, like you'd never guess by just looking at me. But it took me hours just to find something to wear, to cover up my skin's imperfection. And my hatred for bras usually drew unwanted attention, but she didn't care. She said the world needed to know that we were here. See, the world needed to know that we existed, and we weren't asking, but we were demanding to be noticed. She had changed everything about me. My entire demeanor was like an act being performed for my friends who were the audience, and I was right there with them looking at someone I thought I knew. She had built so many layers around me that I I couldn't even break through. I no longer lived in my truth. Everything was so pre-recorded, as though I was programmed to please, and the opinions of others oftentimes brought me to my knees. She said, if you hid those tears, if you hid those tears, it was easier said than done. I was fighting this battle against myself, and the only thing that won was depression and anxiety. And it gave ways to my insecurities. See, it gave ways to my fears. I was so afraid to speak, not wanting to feel inadequate, not sound articulate enough, afraid that they'd see these scars and not know how hard it was for me to just stand here and speak. Afraid that they'd see these scars, metaphorically and physically speaking. Afraid to be me. Because it was so easy to pretend to be someone else, afraid of all these insecurities. But I realized that I needed my masses. I needed my mask to pretend in front of my friends, to make depressing statements and put jokes at the end, because that is the me I wanted them to see, a me that was happy and pain-free. And even though God was the only person I feared, I wondered if He knew how hard it was for me to just be me. And then I realized that I was fearfully and wonderfully made in His image. So I no longer needed a mask to pretend. I just needed to be me. You come to that reality when you find out that your father is a king, so by heredity, that makes you royalty. I'm asking I. Okay, so be sure to follow me on Facebook at Renata Burnette and on Instagram at poetic_charm for more videos or updates with what I'm doing in terms of my writing. Be sure to comment and like the vids. I prefer comments mostly because I want people to give their inputs on how they feel about the video. So yes, be sure to follow IntellectStorm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and don't forget to subscribe so you can see more awesome content just like this. Shook on my head. Is that fine?
This is fine.
You keep saying these things are fine.
It's not a big deal.
Are you sure? All right.
I'm good.